So there was a point in my life where I was overweight, and in under a year I was able to completely transform myself. But there were 4 steps I had to go through to make this happen. If you're watching this video, there's a high likelihood you'll lose fat and get lean. The fact that you're watching videos like this on YouTube shows me that you're willing to learn and take action. Most people aren't willing to do that. They doubt themselves, but you're different. I know you already believe you can do it, and that alone sets you apart from everyone else. And that's step number 1, belief. When I was overweight, I was willing to do whatever it took to lose fat and get lean. I believed it was going to happen before I even started. I had already installed it in my mind. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 steps I took to transform my body. And if you want to do the same, then make sure to watch this video till the end. The first step is belief, which you should already have just by watching this video. Everything is wired through your subconscious mind. So if you don't believe it's possible, then you're already setting yourself up for failure before you even begin. You must believe it's possible to achieve your goals. Remember, your belief system is a huge part of your success. Most people don't believe they can lose fat and get lean because of X, Y, and Z, which is exactly why they never get there. If you're in a negative state, then you have to rewire your subconscious mind to think more positively. And ways to do this include breathwork, journaling, reading, and keeping the promises you make to yourself. At the beginning, you almost have to be a little bit delusional, knowing that you'll achieve the goal before you've even started. This is the hardest part for most people because it's difficult to visualize. But if you're here watching this, then you're already on the right path. Step number 2 is goal setting. Most people never write down their goals, and that's why they don't get results. Goal setting gives you a clear vision and target to aim for. Without it, you're just shooting randomly, hoping something sticks. You have no system to follow. When you set a clear goal, you can reverse engineer it to know exactly what you need to do. For example, let's say your goal is to lose 20 pounds of fat in the next 20 weeks. That means you need to lose exactly 1 pound of fat per week. From there, you can calculate your deficit, whether through increased activity, reduced calories, or a mix of both. And you can also calculate your macros. And this will give you a clear plan to stick to week after week. You may not hit your exact goal in that time frame because the body can be a little bit complicated, but at least you'll be on the right path. And you may need to readjust a few variables along the way, but that's just part of the process. It takes some time to understand your own body. But if you keep doing the right things long enough, you'll eventually get there. Remember, your goals are the map that guides you to success, to the body you want, so always write them down. Step 3 is consistency, sticking with the path and the system. I've seen so many people hop on new diets or new workout routines when they don't see results after just a couple of weeks. Well, of course you aren't seeing much progress. You've only given it 2 weeks. You won't really see progress in anything after just a couple of weeks of doing it. The truth is almost any diet will work as long as you let it work, meaning you're in a calorie deficit and you give it enough time. The mentality of the grass is greener on the other side is almost always false. The grass is greener where you water the damn grass. So if your nutrition plan isn't working, most of the time it's simply because you're overeating. That's it. Sometimes it can be because your body isn't metabolizing certain foods very well, but if that's the case, then just change the type of food you eat, not the entire system. There's no need to jump to carnivore, OMAD, or any extreme diet. Just iterate on what you're doing right now and make it more sustainable. And for those who feel like quitting after a few weeks, remember this: it can take months or even years to get down to a healthy body fat percentage. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. You must learn to keep going when you're stuck, when things aren't working the way you expected them to, and when everyone else on the same journey as you has already quit. Step 4 is your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you spend time with people who are out of shape, who don't care about their health, you'll eventually become like them, and you can try to help lift them up with you. But think about this: it's easier to fall than it is to climb. People are constantly trying to drag you down. Eventually you'll get pulled down with them. Gravity is the world's strongest force, but negativity is your brain's strongest force. Negativity is contagious. When you're around negative people, that's the worst place to be because it's the hardest state to escape. On the other hand, when you're surrounded by a community of positive, like-minded people who have the same vision and goals as you, it becomes much easier to climb because everyone is pushing each other upward. Your circle is everything. They'll change your belief about what is actually possible, and they'll pull you up when you feel like quitting. Sometimes you have to cut people in order to grow stronger. If you've tried to help them and they refuse to change, then it may be time to say goodbye. Most people find this very hard because they don't want to change who they hang out with, but often that's exactly what's holding them back. If your current social circle is the reason why you're stuck, then it's time to level up. Find people who are ahead of you, who want to grow with you, who want to see you win. I actually realized this when I started working with high-performance men. They completely shifted my mindset about my environment. When I talked to them about my goals, my struggles, they never laughed, they never judged, they just helped me to overcome it and told me my goals weren't big enough. Strive for more. And that taught me the very important lesson of people who are ahead of you will never judge you for what you're doing. They'll always help to push you forwards. There aren't many people like that. But if you work on yourself and work on becoming the better version of you, you will find them. The universe has a strange way of making that happen. So this is a simple system. Believe it, plan it, stick with it, and surround yourself with the right people. I always say focus plus time equals results. With time, focused intent becomes the reality. Once you have the focused intent, the only variable left is time. For some, it may take 3 months, for others 3 years, but eventually everyone ends up at the same stage. And when it comes to losing fat, you have to do everything step by step. You can't just start doing everything all at once, like 15,000 steps a day, training 5 times a week, cutting out all processed food. If you do that after years of an unhealthy lifestyle, you'll burn out quickly. It's like quitting something cold turkey after doing it every single day. It's hard and you'll likely relapse. Change one thing at a time. Build a habit of moving more and then move on to the next step. Remember, small steps and small wins eventually add up to something huge, and that's the power of compounding. I've made mistakes with all of these steps. That's why I'm making this video, so you don't make the same ones. And one thing I regret is not having a coach. I went through years of trial and error with training, nutrition, and mindset. I could have saved years of my life by learning from someone who already had the strategies, the systems, the steps of achieving a lean body and maximizing performance, not just in fitness, but in business too. And it took me 10 years to finally realize that having a healthy body and mind translates to all other areas of life, relationships, business, everything. If you're struggling with performance, losing fat, or achieving a healthier lifestyle, find coaches or mentors who have already done what you want to do. Ask them questions. It could be the best investment of your life. I believe most people put work first and neglect their health, not realizing how much their health impacts their work, their life, and how much more they could achieve by just focusing on it. And that's exactly why I started this YouTube channel, to coach people and help them understand this, because becoming fit and healthy changed my life. And finally, you gotta fall in love with the journey, the process, because if you're forcing yourself every day to train, to eat healthy, but inside you truly hate doing it, then it's going to be so hard for you to stick with these things for the rest of your life. And this is a lifelong process of becoming fit and healthy. So learn to embrace the pain and embrace the challenge. And if you learn to enjoy all of these things, then your results will just be a byproduct of changing your habits. This video was more about mentality, but that is the most important thing when it comes to transforming your body. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful. And if you want to know the boring, simple way that got me to 10% body fat, then go watch this video next.